It's Aleya Antoine. You're listening to Tease podcast.
Everyone loves a tease. Stop.
Don't get too excited.
I feel like in every relationship, there's one shy person and one outgoing person. Like, I feel like two outgoing people together is kind of an ick. Like, if I was dating someone who talked as much as me, oh my God, dry. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tease podcast. Happy Tuesday, bitches. It is so great to be back with you guys. Today, we are solo. We're writing solo. I know that a ton of y'all loved last time's episode with Kai. We did a 420 episode and we took liquid THC right before it. We are talking about all of our high experience. We're laughing. We're telling some of the most insane stories. We play a game called Dream Blunt Rotation. We really were having a truly high podcast episode, and I have to admit, I thought it was so funny. I never watch back my episodes, mostly because I do the editing, I do the publishing. So by the time that I've made the reels, posted this, marketed it, I'm done. You think I'm gonna listen to my own episode after I've heard it 20 million times from editing? No way. This episode was the first episode that I ever went back and listened to because I just could not stop laughing. Even the whole time that I was editing, I was like, why did we say this? I don't even remember. So I understand that y'all love that episode, and I understand that one of the reasons why y'all love that episode is because Kai was on it. Everyone was like, when is Kai going to be back on? When is Kai going to be back on? And I completely understand the love for Kai. I love Kai. But it is a little annoying. I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous of Kai. But what it's giving is when you have a mom and the dad, right? Who's there for you all the time? Who's your emotional support? Who do you call on when you really need something? Your mom. But you know what your dad does? He pops in once a month for his custody for the weekend. He laughs, he giggles, he does whatever you want, and then you don't see him for another month. But who's your favorite parent? Your dad. Even though the mom is doing everything and carrying the world on her shoulders so you can be lifted up. But who gets all the love and praise? Dad. I literally feel like that with Kai. And you know what? When y'all are older, you're going to realize how much I did for you. No, but seriously, it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I swear I wasn't thinking about this before I recorded, and now I'm having word vomit, you know? Guys, this week has been, dare I say, full of realizing things. I have had such an exciting week. I started a new job. Well, I actually had my orientation literally right before this episode. So I literally got back and hopped straight on the mic. So I got a new job working at, it's called Audio Bar. It's in the arts district of Las Vegas. And it's like an EDM, hip hop, house music, just a very music centric club. For example, our bar top is literally all actual flyers of music festivals over the decades. We have the signed Marshmallow Head. We have a picture of Biggie in a chef hat on the kitchen, a bunch of collectibles that are hung up on the wall. All of the walls are painted by local artists. There's a whole mural, and there's no dress code. Just wear whatever you would wear to a festival, or just be yourself. And it's a vibe. It's a vibe. I'm going to be bartending there for the brunch, and I'm so excited. It's so crazy because I have been applying to jobs this entire year. All of 2025, I have been applying. When I first got to Vegas, I was working on Grimaldi's, but that was just to make money. It went completely south because I had a very, very hostile work environment that forced me to resign. And so I have been trying to do an in-person job because as much as I love my online stuff, I need money to pay the bills. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, where do I want to work? And one thing is, I mean, we all know the economy is literally crashing before our eyes. And in Vegas, that means that the job market is absolute shit. Not to mention, I always say this, but whenever you move to Vegas, everyone always tells you it's Vegas, it's who you know, not what you know. I took that with a grain of salt and I was like, well, I'm perfect. I'm gonna get a job. I have all this experience, right? Wrong. Wrong. I wish I knew how to say wrong in Spanish. Wrong. Because I have 6 years of hospitality experience, a bachelor's degree, and I still wasn't getting the jobs. I was literally overqualified. Every time I would interview, everyone would be like, we love you, we'll call you this day. You're overqualified, like you'll be perfect. Crickets, don't hear anything. And it's because at the end of the day, let's say I have all this experience, right? But the girl after me knows someone higher up, she's getting the job. Or she knows another employee, she's getting the job. Like, it really is like that. And I had no absolute idea. Like, anytime someone moves here, people literally tell them, like, you're gonna have to work your way up all over again. Because one thing about Vegas, pretty much, unless your experience is in this city, they don't care. You can have 6 years of experience, but if it's not in Vegas, it doesn't mean shit. My degree is from Texas. Doesn't mean shit. Pretty much the only thing that means shit is what you're doing here. And so it has been so, oh my gosh, this has been like one of the worst job hunts of my life. Whenever I'm like, yeah, I like Vegas, but you know, it's because of the fucking job hunts. That's why I'm like still kind of weary of how I feel about her. But I was laying on my couch one night. It was Sunday. Kai was at work. I was 3 glasses of wine deep. I see a post that they're having open interviews, and I'm like, fuck it. Like, what's one more try? You know what I mean? It was the least prepared I've ever been. Like, every time I go to an interview, I had been preparing for days. I had made sure to get ready so early. I did my hair so cute. This one, I literally got ready in 20 minutes, threw on a dress, put my hair in a high ponytail, put on some hoops. I was wearing lashes, go in, interview. This was the job I get. Isn't it so funny how life works? Like, they always tell you when you're not trying, that's when you're gonna get it. And I kept telling myself when I would go to all my other interviews, I'm not trying, I'm not trying. It's one thing to say you're not trying, but it's another thing to actually do it. And just because you say, oh, I'm not gonna try, does it actually mean? Like, you know what I mean? I before thought that not trying was like going in and like meditating and just not caring too much about the outcome, but wanting to do my best. No, not trying is just you literally are here for the vibe, you're here for the plot, and you realize that like you have free will in life, so you can kind of do anything. That's not trying, you know? So I interview, I get the job. Guys, I saw the craziest shit at this interview because if you are having interview anxiety, if you're scared about a job hunt, which I know so many of us are going to be doing our jobs, so many of us are going to be looking for careers, so many of us are going to be working a job while looking for a career, while doing your passion. Like, there's just so many things you're going to do, and a lot of times you're going to have interviews or meet with people, and you're so nervous, you're scared. What do? This is your sign. Don't care about the interview. Do not care about the interview, because I saw the most crazy interview in my absolute life. And first of all, even if you have a good interview, you may still not get the job. And if you have a bad interview, you could get the job. You don't know what their hiring process is. But I go into the open interview, I'm waiting at the bar. There's this girl, she's sitting there and she like looks pretty antsy. Like, she's tapping her hands, she's tapping her toes. And I was just like, whatever, like I'm not paying attention to other people, you know? She looks at the bartender and she goes, excuse me? I'm waiting on my pizza and my pizza is still not out yet. And by the time it comes out, I'm going to have to interview. And it's just taking a while. So if it's not out right now, can I just get something easy like a chicken salad? Can I do that instead? So the bartender's like, I'll go check on the pizza. First of all, she ordered pizza waiting for an interview. Like, guys, the interview was not like in the back office or anything. The interview was literally to the side in eye shot at a booth. We're at the bar. It's literally just at a table over there. You can see everything. You can hear everything. The server comes back and she has the pizza for the girl, and the girl's like, thank you. You know, like, it was taking a long time. Like, it was just taking forever. It's just taking forever. First of all, if you've like ever been a bartender server, you know that like you don't say that stuff because she's not cooking it. You know what I mean? So then she gets her pizza, she's eating it. The hiring manager comes and goes, oh, it's your turn to interview. She goes, you can interview someone else right now because I'm eating my pizza. I have never seen so much I don't give a fuck in my entire life. And then the hiring manager comes back. She's eaten pretty much all of her pizza and she goes, okay, I'm ready now. Wait, no, before that, she actually told him, take another person and then I'll go. He comes to get her finally for her turn when she's ready. And she's like, yeah, I'm ready. I just had to like eat some food, you know? And he's like, oh, okay. And then he's like, I really like your shirt, you know? And she goes, thanks, I got it from the flea market. I I want to be her. I don't think I've ever had such like audacity and I don't give a fuck energy in my life, and I can't imagine her stressing out about anything. And she said that she has a current job too, so like she's doing something right. But I thought that was so crazy. I was like, why have I ever been nervous for interviews? My biggest fear is that I stutter over a word or that I skip a word, or I'm like, so what's your experience? You know, I'm scared I'll say you know, or I do have a really bad habit sometimes of saying actually. There was one interview that like still haunts me in my mind because I said actually so much, and I don't know what it is about the word actually, but it actually makes you sound like a fucking bitch. And I don't know why. Like, even when I was a kid, my mom would be like, Aleya, stop saying actually, because I was like, actually, I did this job. Actually, I have this experience. Actually, I da 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 da. Like, I was just saying actually, and like oh my God, it still haunts me. Like, I'm thinking about it right now and I'm getting so nervous, even though it's already over. But after the interview, I got texted next day, I got the job, and then we had orientation today. And it was just so amazing because all of the stuff that they have, how I told y'all, like the bar top, all the collectibles, these people, the owners, have like handpicked themselves. They've gone to different music festivals and gotten things. They've gone in local artists. Like, nothing is just ordered off Amazon. You know what I mean? Like, it's very curated and like a very passion project. Like, even the chairs outside are from some iconic music festival. Like, it's crazy, right? So the manager's telling us the history, and honestly, I've always wanted to be part of an opening team. So like, this is so exciting. I've always wanted to be an OG. If you've ever worked anywhere in your entire life, you know that like you could work at a place for 20 years, but you'll never be an OG, and like you'll never like be at the same level as the original people. So like this feels really nice. And so he's telling us all about like the historicness and the passion they put behind it. And I don't know if it's because I'm on my period or because like, I don't know, I'm just emotional right now, but he's telling all of it and I literally want to start crying. Like, I could feel myself about to tear up. Like, I was like, this is so beautiful. Like, I don't know what came over me, but I was just like, wow, like these people have dreamed about this for years and years, and I have dreams too. And they're actually doing it. You know what I mean? And I just want to do a good job so they can achieve their goal. Like, I want to protect this place at all costs. Protect it at all costs. Like, it's a fragile little shell, and I want it to be everything that they envisioned of. Like, imagine you spend years thinking of your dream and then you actually make it come true and you have so much thought behind it. You know what I mean? And no, I just, like, it was just really beautiful to me. I don't even think I was listening half the time. I was just like, oh my God, you care so much. So then we do a whole tour, and we're all like getting ready to leave, and the owner was like talking about how some things weren't up to his liking, because that's what happens with any new project, right? You have a dream and then you find out that half of your dream is janky as shit because the world isn't perfect, right? Like, things don't go perfectly and you have to do a lot of like adjusting. So I, in my spirit of not giving a fuck, in my spirit of just trying to be myself in life now, I walk up to him while he's chain smoking a cigarette outside on the patio, and I go, I just want to say I am inspired and I love the passion that y'all have put into this place. Homeboy almost chokes on the smoke. Because I feel like, okay, men, unless they're saying something abrasive or raunchy, they're uncomfortable. Like when you give a girl a compliment like that, they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, da da da. If you tell a guy like a really emotional, I'm proud of you compliment, they don't know how to handle it. They're like, what the fuck did you just say to me? They like are so uncomfortable, like they physically look just like they look like they have the ick. Like they just look so uncomfortable. So this guy chokes and he goes, thank you, I guess. And then he goes back to smoking. But then he like, I could tell that he's thinking because he's like, huh. And then he goes, thank you, again, because he thought about it. In my head, I'm like, oh my God, I'm such a weirdo. Like, he probably thinks I'm trying to kiss ass, but it's also like, everyone just started at the same time. What would I be kissing ass for? Although they are so inspiring that I would love to get them on the podcast. Is that too high of hopes? Is that a workplace violation? Like, is that unethical? I would love to get them on the podcast. And we could do it at the bar that they have. Okay. They don't know it yet, but I may just be the bartender right now, but I'm about to be their colleague. I'm about to be their friend. And I know that they're working on their social media too, so maybe they need someone to help with that. Not me already plotting and manifesting. Gosh, I haven't even had an actual first shift, and this is where my mind goes. I feel like I'm someone who's full of long-term goals. I'm not really a short-term goal person. Like, I obviously have short-term goals, but my main priority life is my long-term goals. Like, I'll achieve one little thing and I'm like, how can I make this bigger? How can I make this better? How can I amplify this? I don't know what that's even called. But now I feel like we should all start going up to men and just giving them very sincere, I'm proud of you compliments. Because when a guy looks at you and you tell him to fuck off, they laugh and they approach you even more. From now on, if a guy pisses me off, I'm gonna be like, I just want to say, I don't know if anyone's told you, but I'm proud of you. And you're doing amazing in life. And it's great to see how sensitive you are about this topic and how you've poured your emotions into it. Watch every guy turn around and walk away. They're all gonna be like, please shut up. Please stop. Like, they'd rather you cuss them out. And so I think that's gonna be my new method. I'm going to literally kill with kindness. But it is really just so crazy where life takes you, because when I came here, as y'all know, like, my goal was to get a very like glitz and glam job on the Vegas Strip. Like, that's what I really wanted to do. I wanted to work in a club, and I still did end up working at a club, but basically the way that Vegas is, it's the Strip, there's Old Vegas, and there's the Arts District, all kind of like looped in together. Overall, though, they're all like from end to end, like 30 minutes apart, but they all are kind of connected. And I had been trying to work on the Strip so bad. I get this job in the Arts District. I call my mom and I tell her, because she's been on her hands and knees like, please let Aleya get a job, because probably so I could stop calling her crying and panicking. She's like, I need my life back. I can't keep hearing about this. And she's like, I know you wanted to like have like this glitz and glam thing and like kind of go with the stereotypical Vegas route. And she was like, but like, you're someone who's never fit in a box. You know what I mean? You've never fit in a box. And although you like lavishness and that kind of stuff, at your core, you're more of an artsy, creative person. Like, you're a weirdo. You know what I mean? Like, you like to be artsy, you like to be creative. And I think that the Arts District is actually going to be the perfect place for you, because you don't fit in the box. So it makes perfect sense for you to be working in a community full of people who are circles. You know what I mean? And so that is how I felt, because when I was driving through it, it kind of has the same vibe as Seattle and Oregon. And I know that I have shit on Seattle. I own it. I've shit on Seattle so much. All I normally have is negative things to say. But I will say that one thing that I absolutely love about Seattle is like the passion and the artistry behind it. And the fact that there's so many people with dreams, there's so many people who express themselves uniquely. And one thing that you do learn about Vegas from living here is like, when we look at the world, right? we're very modern as a society now in some ways. When it comes to hiring, tattoos, piercings, that doesn't really get in the way. You see professionals with vivid colored hair. I feel like the art of expressing yourself in modern day society is very widely accepted, and you can get a job working in a lot of places just being yourself, versus back in the day, it was like everyone needs to have the same color hair, no tattoos, no piercings, very same personality. It's like everything was very like, like stereotypical, what's that word? Masculine gaze type of beauty standards, right? And working in Texas and working in Seattle, it was not like that. Like in Texas, I felt like I could express myself. I could have my nails done. Like I just felt unrestricted when it came to my appearance. Pretty much the only thing they told you was stay in shape. And then in Washington, again, it's very much like, please express yourself. Like don't hold yourself back. Vegas, like especially when it comes to the strip, is still like 20, 30 years behind. And I'm not saying this to be critical, it's just a fact. They want everyone to pretty much look the same. I came in thinking that I would get a job based off of the fact that I'm unique, that I had red hair and I'm black and I like express myself and like that not a lot of people look like me. But Vegas, especially the strip where I was applying, is not like that. They want uniform, they want conformity. You have no idea how many people don't get jobs because of a simple tattoo. You know what I mean? Like I covered up my tattoos for some of my interviews. Like it's very, very old school appearance standards over there, And so while that may pay well and everything, as I've talked about before, what is the price that you can put on expressing yourself? Like if I naturally wanted to be, dare I say, more basic, then that's fine because that's authentically you and you fit into those lines. But to change everything about yourself for a job is something that I've never really wanted to do because at the end of the day, I would only ever change myself for my passion and to excel myself to become a better version of me. Not to go back to how I looked when I was like in high school because I felt restricted in expressing myself. So I think that working in this area actually is going to be the best thing for me. And I think it's going to be so inspiring. Like I walked around the area today and there's art murals everywhere. There's like the little bars. There's people that just look different. They look unique. They look like hipsters. They look like Gen Z, you know what I mean? And I was like, you know what? I feel really comfortable here. I feel really comfortable, you know what I mean? And so I want to start marketing the podcast over there. And you never know, like, you never know what could happen. And this is just to let you know, guys, that if you feel like for some reason something's not happening for you, like I've had months of stuff not happening for me, it could just be that like the universe is holding out something better for you, or it knows that that's just not meant for you. And everyone says, well, it's not meant for you, da 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 da. But sometimes you just so badly want to make something meant for you. You don't know how badly I wanted to make something meant for me on this trip at first. I wanted to dye my hair back to black at one point because I was like, should I just do that if it means getting the job? But would that be authentically me? No. And the only thing that happens when you're not authentically you is you don't even act like yourself. Like a part of me was like, what would my personality even be like if I changed my entire look to just look like someone else? Not to mention they want everyone to look the exact same. And like, as I told y'all, I have an individuality complex. So like, that's not going to work. But yeah, if you're in a place also that maybe is like more old school with that or more repressive, like you can find communities no matter where you are that's full of self-expression. You just need to look for them, and sometimes we count them out at first because we're like, oh, this is like more of the wacky places. Maybe you're meant to be in the wacky place, you know what I mean? And maybe it's not so bad, because when I was looking around the arts district and everything and like going around old Vegas, like it has so much history, it has so much heart, it has so much passion. Whereas, not to talk shit on the strip again, like I'm not salty about it. Who knows? I may end up working there at one point. But the strip is very corporate-y and it's very just money machine. That's all that's behind it. There's not passion. There's not all that stuff going into it. It's money, glitz, glamour. How can we get tourists to spend their money and their time at this place competing with another business, where the arts district literally feels like that Seattle and PNW vibe that I used to feel, even some vibes like in certain Texas neighborhoods, to where it's small business owners who actually are passionate and have a really like big heart about what they're doing, and they want to share that with the world. And I think that sometimes you need to submerge yourself in people that you want to be inspired by, because right now I'm not looking to be inspired by a corporation, but I think seeing other people go for what they want is exactly what I need in life right now. Not to mention the job is Saturday and Sundays, and I have commitment issues. I was like, I don't know if I want to do a full-time thing, because like I have the podcast and like, I don't know, and da, da, da. So I think this is a great way for me to start off. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Y'all have seen me with so many jobs. To be fair though, one, I have commitment issues, first of all. Second of all, I've moved around a lot because of my commitment issues. Maybe, I don't know. Let's just say I've never signed a contract long term in my entire life. Speaking of new hair, I actually did redo my hair for the 100th bazillion time. You guys are like, Aleya, I don't want to know about the hair. This one's called cinnamon brown. It's brown with red and copper undertones. Just wanted to say, Kai did it again, and it was so fun because I went to Kai's school yesterday because they had to like bring in models to do like a bridal shoot, because it's cosmetology school. You know, they have to bring in people that they know to do it. I felt like I was in high school again. Like I went in and Kai was like, do you want to eat lunch with us in the lunchroom? It's like this little lunchroom with the tables, and they're like, guys, we only have 30 minutes of lunch. Do y'all want to go get Dutch Bros? And then it's like 4 of us in the car going to Dutch Bros. We come back and everyone's like at their desk and everything doing hair. And I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in high school again. And I literally remember going on lunch break and being like, we only have this amount of time. Like, we have to get this done. Oh my gosh, my first high school, because I did transfer, I don't even think that we could go out for lunch, actually. I don't remember anyone going out for lunch. Private school's fucking weird. Every time I think about it, I get the ick. I feel like no school is ever gonna ask me to give a speech. Like, you know, like when you hear that like celebrities are giving a speech at their high school, so then you just start thinking, where would I give a speech? It would have to be maybe my college, maybe. But like my high schools definitely would not have me back. One, I talk shit about all the time, and the second one, I went there for 6 months because of COVID. Then after Kai finished my look, I was like, well, I'm already done up. Let's go to a bar. Let's go to the club. So we go out, and guys, I have officially added a basic bitch thing to my life that is not unique at all, and I am absolutely loving it and enjoying it. I have been drinking espresso martinis. I used to hate espresso martinis. Like, even making them as a bartender, I was like, oh my God, who's drinking this? One day when I went out with my friendship shot that I did, I just was like, fuck it, let me get an espresso martini. I have no idea what came over me. It was love at first sip. It was love at first sip. I couldn't stop thinking about her. I was like, I want an espresso martini. Literally, me and Kai went to a different, like, girl and sapphic group on Wednesday, and I got an espresso martini there. I also got my tarot cards read, and they said that I have a ton of feminine energy and that I had absolutely no masculine energy in any of my cards. It was rainbows, it was horsies, it was fairies, it was beautiful. It was me, and I guess there's a new moon coming up, so like it's time to get abundance. Anyways, I've been drinking espresso martinis. And I get it now. So we went out. I had an espresso martini and a porn star. That's so basic, right? But they were good. They were good. Somehow we ended up at the club with all the aunties and uncles. But what I will say is they be cutting up. Like, I swear I saw more dancing at that place than I do when I see a bunch of people like around my age. Like, they were standing on the tables, they were doing circles, they were doing lines, and I was like, man, maybe I should join in. Can I hop in? I know that y'all are celebrating a bridal shower, but like, can I hop in on the line? And then, guys, Kai did something so out of their comfort zone. I think this year is about everyone pushing themselves out of their comfort zone. Kai shot a friendship shot. okay, I'm saying it like that because Kai is so much shyer than me. I feel like in every relationship, there's one shy person and one outgoing person. Like, I feel like two outgoing people together is kind of an ick. Like, if I was dating someone who talked as much as me, oh my God, dry. I would never be horny. No. I love like people that are just like quiet, mysterious. I just like shut up. Like that is my type. Like I want you to look like you have just so many thoughts in your mind that you're scared to say because you don't want to be judged. So like as much as I'm always like, Kai, talk, tell me this. A part of me, like I have to acknowledge that like a part of the reason why I also love Kai is because their demeanor and aesthetic is so different from me. So Kai saw this lesbian couple and was like, I think I've seen them maybe on social media. At this point, I think everyone's seen everyone on social media at some point, whether you know it or not. So Kai goes up to them, starts talking, and they were like, hi, like da da da. And we became friends. We shared Instagrams, especially because we were all like, I don't have another lesbian couple friend. I've had other gay friends, but they've always been single, you know what I mean? But we've never had like a couple to hang out. We have had couples to hang out with actually, but just like on a consistent basis hasn't happened yet, especially in Vegas. So we'll see where that goes. I mean, I'm excited. It was so funny because Kai and the other masculine one were like kind of talking, but they weren't sharing too much about themselves. They're just like, oh, surface level, hi, what are you up to? Me and the feminine one are sharing all of their business. She's like, yeah, like my partner has so much trauma from friendships, so I'm so happy that like they'll be able to be friends. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Kai does too. So this happened while we were in here, and this happened, and this happened. And we're just like sharing all their business. And they both look at us like, gosh damn, what if I don't want to tell all my secrets out? But I think it's just always good to not even romantic wise, but just always be in relationships that push you. And I think that that's what I'm looking for now. I feel like I've had a lot of relationships, friendships, all that stuff where it hasn't pushed me out of my comfort zone. And even the times where I thought that I was out of my comfort zone, I actually can look back and say that I still all the way wasn't. I will say that I attribute a lot of it to how I said I got diagnosed with OCD. I think that finding that out has like helped me so much in life. I think I see clearly now. And I think I don't know, like it feels like a breath of fresh air. And I feel like I'm able to actually like be myself, be real with myself. Like, again, am an extrovert, but because of not knowing what was going on with me, I developed like a sense of anxiety. Now that I have my shit together, social anxiety doesn't fucking know me. I literally was reaching out to brands and I couldn't find an email, so I just called him up. And Kai was like, what the fuck? I just go up to people and I talk now. And I've always had that in me, but then I would be like, nah. Like it was like biting myself, you know what I mean? And I feel like free, you know? And speaking of free and stuff, one other skill that I've gotten with my growth is the skill to apologize. I think that I've always kind of had that skill, but it like definitely like sometimes apologizing made me just want to like vomit in my mouth. But I have an apology for the teasers, you know what I mean? And yes, I said the teasers. Back like episode 1 through 10, I don't know which one, I was like, what are we gonna name our community? What should be our name? And a lot of y'all wrote in teasers. One of them was Hunties, and one of them was, I don't even remember the other. And I said that Teasers was basic and that we would go with Hunties. After I said that, I never proceeded to ever address anyone or say the name Hunties or the word Hunties ever again in my life because I didn't like it truly. I think I just was trying too hard to be different. And I want to apologize to the teaser community because Teasers is the absolute perfect name for our community. We are officially the Teasers. I'm like acting like so corny with that, but I'm so excited. I not even just giving y'all an apology to be like funny and cute. Like, no, I actually was thinking about it and I was like, what if the people who recommended it stopped listening because I didn't pick it? I don't know. I just like started spiraling. I was like, what if they hate me now? What if they're like, she's a bitch and she didn't like my idea? Nope. Your idea is perfect. It may have taken me 30 episodes to realize it, but growth is slow. And maybe I was just high the last time. Or maybe I had a glass of wine. I probably did have a glass of wine. But I think also, like, now, if I do things uniquely or different, it's not because I'm trying hard. I was a try hard. I was a try hard, but not a pick me try hard. I was like a try hard going against the grain, like, I'm different from other people. Ew, ew, blah. Teasers is so cute. I'm obsessed with it. We are the teasers. We are the teasers. Even our community highlight on Instagram now, I made it the teasers. So what's up, my bad bitches? Oh, this makes me feel just so much more united with you guys. And I am so excited to see how our community grows. One thing that I wanted to share with you guys, because I feel like this episode has been the spirit of not giving a fuck, becoming who you truly are, and that's really hard to do. There were so many times in my life where I thought that I was confident, where I thought I was being myself, and there was still so much more room to grow. As much as I did have confidence, I also had room to gain more confidence, to be more comfortable with myself. There's always room for growth. And I don't think that I've completely achieved my maximum right now. I think that it's just going to keep getting better and better. So that's one thing that I want to emphasize, is that, like, I hope I've never come off like I have the secret formula for, like, feeling great about yourself, because it's a process, and I think it's a process that you never finish. There's no end point, and there's always more room to get more comfortable with yourself. And one thing that has been really helping me, I haven't recommended you guys a book in a long time, but this book I have been reading currently is called The Subtle Art. It's like a big orange book. It says The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I got this at the library in Portland like a week before I moved to Vegas, because I just thought it would come in handy. It's been sitting on my bookshelf, but now I feel like we've got the podcast room together. We do have the podcast room together. It is done. It is finished, guys. She is so cute. I'm going to do a tour. I'm going to upload it as a reel, a YouTube short, and a TikTok. Let's be so for real. This room isn't even over probably 100 square feet. It's probably not even over 300 square feet. It's probably like, it's small. It's a small room. Like, what can I give a long form video tour of? So this is a pillow, and this is a matching pillow. This is a plant, and this is a matching plant. Tease is just coming together. We have our name, the Teasers. We have our home, Tease Studio. And I will be dropping what the whole room looks like very soon. So stay tuned for that. But now that I feel like I have everything together, I decided it's time to, like, put some reading back into my life just occasionally. So I have been reading this book. Honestly, I'm only 20 pages in, and I already feel like my mindset has shifted. It's all about not giving a fuck, and it's not so much like, yeah, I don't care what happens. No, it's mostly about getting your power back by not over caring about things, being willing to go with the flow. Because what it talks about is that sometimes, and most of the time, we always say, right? Oh, when you don't care, that's when things happen. I literally said it earlier. So it's kind of talking to you about how to not care, but in an actual productive way. So one example is, it says, let's say you get screwed over by a manager, right? And you would normally think, I don't give a fuck, so I'm not going to talk to them about it. What this is changing the narrative of not giving a fuck to become your power. So it's saying, because you don't give a fuck, talk to the manager about what they did to you. Because who cares? Who cares what you do, as long as you're doing stuff that is healthy and not detrimental to other people, but is benefiting you? Why not? Stand up for yourself. Don't be nervous. Don't be embarrassed to be who you are. It's not embarrassing to be a strong person. Probably common misconception of not giving a fuck and just being like, I'm not going to say anything, is cowardly. It is not showing courage. It's not showing strength. It's weak, And this is all about finding your strength and not caring. So a great example would be like me even apologizing about the Teasers thing, right? I could have just spun it and said, I actually think this is better. But because I'm trying my best not to give a fuck, I'm going to apologize because what's wrong with apologizing? It's kind of like doing what you know is meant for you and releasing the shackles of embarrassment is all that this book is about. And so I want to read y'all like one little paragraph from it really quickly because this one really resonated with me. And maybe you want this book. You also don't have to read this book. This is not a fucking book club. But if you are a reader or you just like feel like you need a self-help book, because that's mostly what I read. I'm not the type of reader that like actually reads like novels and like all that stuff. Like my stuff is always like a psychology book and like that's pretty much it. But let me read it to you. This is literally on page 4. But when you stop and really think about it, conventional life advice, all the positive and happy self-help stuff we hear all the time is actually fixating you on what you lack. It lasers in on what you perceive your personal shortcomings and failures to already be, and then emphasizes them for you. You learn about the best ways to make money because you feel like you don't have enough money already. You stand in front of the mirror and repeat affirmations saying that you're beautiful because you feel as though you're not beautiful already. You follow dating and relationship advice because you feel that you're unlovable already. You try goofy visualization exercises about being more successful because you feel as though you aren't successful enough already. Ironically, this fixation on the positive, on what's better, what's superior, only serves to remind us over and over again of what we are not, of what we lack, of what we should have been but failed to be. After all, no truly happy person feels the need to stand in front of a mirror and recite that she's happy. She's just is. There's a saying in Texas, the smallest dog barks the loudest. A confident man doesn't feel a need to prove that he's confident. A rich woman doesn't feel a need to convince anybody that she's rich. Either you are or you are not. And if you're dreaming of something all the time, then you're reinforcing the same unconscious reality over and over that you are not that. Mic fucking drop. When I read that, I felt like all of my practices, my world was rocked. And so what it's saying is, it's not telling you to stop dreaming and just not do anything because it's like, well, just be who you are. No, what it's telling you is to stop comparing yourself, stop doing these exercises, take actual action for what you want to be. I used to always watch these videos, how to grow your podcast, how to do this, how to do this. When what I really should be doing is growing my fucking podcast. I should be podcasting. I should be editing. I made the room because the time that I spent comparing myself to other people was time wasted because what really gets you to that next step is action. And you know what the beautiful thing about action is? Oh my God, I sound like I'm a fucking motivational speaker. When you take action of things, you actually end up appreciating the place that you're at. And that is so beautiful. Like I said, have so many long-term goals. And I used to always be like, I wish I had this. I wish I had more money. I wish I was successful. I wish I was this. Since reading this book, since getting diagnosed, and since a lot of things, this wasn't instant either. I walk around my house now. I look at the coffee table that's in front of me right now, and I go, oh my God, I love my coffee table. I look at my couch and I'm like, oh my God, I look at my couch. When before, if I would have completed this podcast room, I would have just been like, yeah, it took me so long to do it. And it's not the same as an actual studio. Like other girls have really big ones. And does mine have enough decorations? Does mine have this? Does this have this? Somehow, some way, I have shifted that mindset. I think a lot of it has to do with actually taking action on my OCD stuff. But it's also just an internal mind shift switch. And so now instead of finishing the podcast room and doing what I used to do where I would just instantly put myself down and be on to the next thing to try to be what I perceived as better, I look around, I laid on the couch and I just took a deep breath and was like, I did it. I did it. Because true power really comes from being confident and happy with the place that you're already at. It's kind of like that saying, I saw this in the book too, where you see someone with the same goal as you and you're like, why did she achieve it? She didn't even want it as bad as me. It's because she's not overthinking it. It's because she's not over trying. It's because her confidence in who she already was helped magnify her to what was even bigger. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, no one wants to be led by someone who is unconfident and insecure. Have you ever had a manager and you're like, you don't know what you're doing because he doesn't feel secure in himself? We want to see leaders who are actually comfortable with themselves. When you have people come to your apartment, don't be like, yeah, I know it's small. No, be like, I fucking paid for this apartment. Like, I hate, and I used to do this, but I hate self-degradation now. I hate it. I hate it. It's like not funny. It's not cute. Someone says, oh, I love how you look in that outfit. Yeah, but I look kind of fat. No, thanks, bitch. Thanks. I do look good in this outfit. Oh, I love what you did with your hair. Well, you know, I've been wanting it to be longer. No, just say thank you, period. Zip your mouth. When you get a compliment, thank you, period. Zip your fucking mouth. Zip your fucking mouth, because do not put yourself down, because at the end of the day, then you start believing it. I went from joking about my shortcomings to making it my reality. And I would sit on the couch. I would just be like, I have nothing. I have nothing. I'm not where I want to be. There's so many 23-year-olds that already have everything together. And here I am. On the flip side of that, I'm in my own apartment. I have a passion. I have a goal. I have this and that. And some people don't have that. Maybe they have something else. You only have your own life. And at the end of the day, if you're going to spend every single day chasing what other people have, you're just going to be unhappy and miserable. And trust me, because I've been unhappy and miserable so many times. And this is not supposed to be a self-help podcast, but yeah, this is just what my current weeks have been like. Is just like getting myself to this mentality. Even before I was about to record, I scrolled on Instagram and I saw this girl and she looked so cool. And I was like, why isn't my stuff like that? As soon as I caught myself thinking like that, I was like, okay, I need to turn off my fucking phone and record. So next time when you're thinking, man, I wish I had that, just look and see something that you do have. You know what I mean? Instead of wishing that you looked like someone else, be like, wow, you know, I have a great ass. Like, appreciate what you do have. We all lack things and we all have an abundance of things. Everyone has things that they lack and everyone has their strengths. Their strengths, their weaknesses. Just because you have weaknesses, that does not negate how many strengths that you have. Boom. Man, maybe I should have a TED Talk. I'm feeling fired up. Is this how motivational speakers feel? I once was upset and now I'm not. Oh my God, guys, my goal is never to be inspirational and give y'all a bunch of advice, but I just started talking and that's what came out on the pod. Maybe it's what we needed to hear. Maybe I'm just saying all this so I can believe it truly too. Who knows? But that is all that I have for you guys today. I love you, my beautiful, beautiful teasers. Be sure to follow the podcast on Instagram at TeasePod, at Tease Podcast, and everything else. I am at Aleya Antoine on all platforms. Please be sure to like, rate, review, subscribe, and give the show 5 stars. Please. I love you guys so much, and I will see you teasers next Tease Tuesday. Bye.